We're back, just here with day one of IGN's E3 live show. We'll be telling you about the latest and greatest games for the next 3 days, so prepare yourself for an overload of awesome. And speaking of awesome, the first Force Unleashed introduced a ton of sweet Force powers, lightsaber fights, and a badass new character. Let's see how the sequel is shaping up with LucasArts' Hayden Blackman.
So, Hayden, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Let's just go ahead and tell us about the Force Unleashed 2. What is it that we need to know about?
So, Force Unleashed 1 launched a brand new epic saga set between episodes 3 and 4, between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. And we're bringing back that saga. We're bringing back our main character, Starkiller, to tell another new story in that time period with, again, more kind of, Force ass-kicking with the Force. Introducing some new powers, including Mind Trick and a brand new dual-wield lightsaber fighting style. Here we've got a demo that we'd like to show that really throws you right into the action. So we're going to load up the demo. It'll put you on Kamino, which is the water world where all the cloning takes place in the Star Wars galaxy. And Darth Vader's secret apprentice, Starkiller, is literally on the run from Darth Vader in this opening segment here. So some of the other big things to note are we're bringing back a lot of the core team from the Force Unleashed. So these are guys that really know how to make these over-the-top Force power experiences really work and shine for the player.
So how is it that Starkiller's back after, the conclusion of the first game?
So Darth Vader tells Starkiller that he's actually a clone of the original Starkiller, but we cast doubt on that really early in the game. Other characters kind of say, well, maybe he's not, maybe, we've never been able to clone a Jedi before. So
right now we're seeing Starkiller escaping from his cloning facility on Kamino.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So this is our proprietary engine at work. It's a combination of Havoc physics systems with digital molecular matter, or DMM, which simulates the way different things behave in the real world based on real-world physics, and then Euphoria biomechanical AI. So we have a really robust engine to bring you these really interactive environments and really pay off on the over-the-top horsepower.
What sort of changes have been done to the engine? I noticed there's now weather effects as well.
That's right. So we've done a ton of work on lighting for the engine, on weather effects, on increasing the number of characters we can have on screen, the destructibility in the environments. We really wanted to advance it to kind of 2.0 of our engine.
So what's been done with combat to kind of bring it to that 2.0?
Well, the first thing you'll notice is that Starkiller has 2 lightsabers. So we introduced a brand new fighting style, the dual-wield lightsaber fighting. We've redone all of the combos to support that. He's much faster in combat, and he has much more kind of area effect attacks. We've also redesigned all the Force powers from the ground up. So you'll have lightning, you'll have Force push, you'll have grip. But they've all been redesigned from the ground up to make them a little bit more accessible or make better payoff. Another big area of focus for us was the AI. So as Devin moves further along here, you'll actually see a mix of AI units. We had about 25 different AI units that we've introduced in Force Unleashed 2. All of them are very tactically significant and really require you to mix up your Force powers in interesting ways. So these Stormtroopers you can take out however you want, but the Imperial melee units, very resistant to the lightsaber, require you to use your Force powers or lightsaber and Force power combos to take down.
So something people at home are obviously going to see here is the fact that the Force Unleashed 2 has dismembering of limbs and that sort of thing. Why was that important, you think, to bring that into the game?
We really wanted to capture the sense that this was a lightsaber and not just a baseball bat. And I think that we took some strides with Force Unleashed 1, and we wanted to push it a little bit more with Force Unleashed 2. And again, as part of re-envisioning all the Force powers, the lightsaber we consider, as another Force power, arguably one of the most important ones. We really wanted to do something new with that. So we've added some effects to make it, feel a little bit more like a lightsaber.
So outside of just combat, tell us about the other ways players can expect to use the Force.
Yeah, so, pacing was, for us on Force Unleashed 1, it was all kind of one note. It was a good note, it was a really fun note, it was this over-the-top combat the whole time. But we really wanted to mix up the pacing a little bit for Force Unleashed 2. So we've added some environmental puzzles where you can use Force Grip to, make forward progress. We've added tactical puzzles in the sense that you'll come onto a scene and you'll want to figure out how to use your different Force powers to take out the enemies that are in front of you. We've added some more exploration, so we really wanted to take advantage of our great engine and allow you to take moments to just even look around.
So you said there's only 25 enemy types, but not to say that in a derogatory way, but is it but each one is vastly different the way that you have to fight them.
That's right. So each of the enemies has their own set of strengths and weaknesses, their own special abilities, and it's the combination of different enemies that makes the fighting really interesting.
So what were some games you drew inspiration from coming into the Force Unleashed 2? That you learned from kind of between the first and the second one?
Well, obviously we learned a ton from just building the first Force Unleashed and things that people liked, and about that game we wanted to make sure we did really right. We looked at a ton of different games across all genres, everything from RPGs to hardcore fighting games to draw inspiration. But in terms of enemy design, we did go back and we looked at some classic RPGs and even MMORPGs to see how different tactics are required by groups to function and fight. And then we figured out, how do we infuse our main character with all those various abilities while fighting a group of enemies of his own.
So what's some of the different Force powers we can expect to see, or the ways that the Force has changed since the first game?
Well, I think one of the things we're most excited about is Jedi Mind Trick, which is a brand new Force power that we've added to the game. When you mind trick enemies, they'll do anything from turn on their allies and become kind of an ally to you. They'll become mobile smart bombs.
Which is what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Or they'll literally jump off cliffs. So weak-willed stormtroopers, sometimes will just run and throw themselves off a cliff. We feel like comedy is a big part of Star Wars, and we wanted to add a little levity with Mind Trick, but really capture that same Force Unleashed feeling.
So right now we're seeing a Carbonite Heavy Trooper. And this is an example of the way the enemies change to make combat.
That's right. This is a brand new enemy for the game. It's our Carbonite War Droid. It's a much larger unit, and it really encourages you to fight him from a distance. He has a Carbonite gun that will freeze you in place if you get too close, and then he can shatter you. He's got a dash attack, a big stomp, and you'll want to take out any enemies that he's with first, and then concentrate on him. Take down his shield with Force Grip or with lightsaber throws, and then move in for the kill with some of your damaging Force powers. But it really is about creating that tension. How much range do you want to keep on him? And then we have finishing moves back again, and these are really a payoff. They're meant to be fairly accessible, fun to pull off, and really give you a big sense of payoff. The other thing that I think is really important about this game is that, the first game was all about Starkiller hunting down the last of the Jedi. In this game, he's really on a personal mission to find Juno Eclipse and discover whether or not he's truly a clone. And he's very much a fugitive from Darth Vader. So we have many moments in the game where we kind of set him up to be fleeing and to get this sense that he's a fugitive. And this is what we call a run for our lives, a run for your life moment here.
Which is kind of the opposite of the first one, where he was always the hunter on the hunt for the prey.
Exactly, right. And again, this really showcases all of our combining technologies. Again, the fact that the team has worked on the Force Unleashed franchise and has a lot of new ideas about how to incorporate the Force and some of these over-the-top set pieces into the action.
So a new Force ability as well is some way you can overcharge your Force powers?
That's right. We'll see that in a moment, but this Force Fury ability, which basically as you move through the game, you'll build up your Force Fury meter, and whenever it fills, you can actually trigger it, and it will take all of your powers to the next level. So if a Force Push hits somebody like a cannonball in the kind of normal mode, in Force Fury mode, it literally sends guys out into orbit. And we're going to see Devin cross this platform here that he's created using the Force and confront some ATSTs. And you can fight the ATSTs a couple different ways. One of the most efficient ways and one of the most dramatic ways is using Force Fury. So Devin's built up his Force Fury meter here. He can trigger it, and now he can actually use Force Grip on the ATSTs and crush them and slam them into each other, or use a lightsaber to attack them.
And this is he could fight them in a normal way. This is just a way that if you're willing to use up that power, you can deal with them faster.
Right. And here we'll show off Force Fury against some hapless stormtroopers, which are our fodder of the game. And you can see that Force Push just, again, sends them out into orbit. So and then the other thing I think is super exciting about Force Fury is when you use it with your lightsaber. So all your attacks become ranged attacks with the lightsaber.
And the point of Force Fury is to kind of bring you up to the way you would be super powerful at the end of the game, but you don't have to wait till the end of the game.
Right, that's actually a really good point, because Force Fury is unlocked at the very beginning of the game, so you'll be able to see where all your powers will eventually head. We have a ranking system in the game, and as you build up your powers, they'll get new effects and become more powerful over time. Force Fury gives you a glimpse of that even early in the game. So here, Devin's going to make his way to Darth Vader's starship, which he's about to steal. And we'll have a brief cutscene here to show you a little bit of the story and the direction our cinematics are headed.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Hayden. I appreciate it.
The Force is looking strong with that one. Thanks for the demo, everybody. Up next, we're going to switch gears as EA Sports pays us a visit. They're going to be showing Madden 11, Tiger Woods, NCAA football, and MMA. Sports fans should keep your eyes right here.